Cyber crimes and cyber safety. What are psychological tricks? How attacker use certain trick to fool you, to scam you. So there are certain psychological tricks they generally adopt. So psychological tricks, psycho means it is related to your mind. So here the attacker, they will try to play with your mind, with the mind of the user, and will try to trap you because there are certain things you normally believe. If some lucrative offer is provided to you, for example, if somebody tells you that if you just give 100 rupees, you will be getting 5,000 rupees or some say some coupons, right? So you'll say, oh, 100 rupees spending, I'm getting 5,000. Once you are trapped, now if you are trapped, either your money will be gone or your sensitive information like name, Aadhaar details, bank account will go. Otherwise, you will be harmed in any way, right? So you will be like a goat who is going to be butchered. That is their main task. They are not interested in your feeling. They are not interested in your mind or anything about you. They don't care. They just want money. So phishing, wishing, smishing, these are certain things you have to keep in your mind. They all are related. They all sound similar, but they have a little bit difference. Phishing. Phishing is related to email. Email. Phishing related to email. You will be getting some email. You will be forced to believe that this email is coming from a genuine sender, like a bank, like a recruiter, like a credit card company, where or whom's mail you will easily believe, right? Because something has happened. Oh my God, I have to reply. I have to click the link. And the basic thing is they want your details. They want your money. Wishing. Now, wishing is somewhat similar to phishing, but wishing is related to not to email, but related to telephone, related to the calls, mobile phones, smartphones. So somebody will call you, right? So here they will call you, they will try to create a scenario or a situation where they can take out your sensitive information and financial information, personal information. The third one is smishing. Smishing is similar to wishing and phishing, but here the SMS will be sent. SMS, short message service. So they will be providing you some website, some link, and they will say, okay, just click here and your credit card is blocked or your KYC has to be done, and you will do it. And that is the problem, right? So beware of phishing, wishing, smishing. Don't open anything on your email which is fishy. Don't listen those who are asking for your OTP, etc. Or don't even reply to any messages or click on any link. The main idea is to harm you. Please remember. Let us see certain real incident. One is lottery fraud. This is very common. See, there is no free lunch. No free lunch. So sometimes people will take some lottery. Even if they haven't taken a lottery, somebody will tell you, you have got a prize, you have won a prize. And when you get an email or call or SMS regarding this lottery, you will be delighted. You will be happy. And when you are happy, that is, you are delighted, that means this is the right time people can hurt you, right? Because you are now only thinking about money, not about how you are being given that money. And somebody will say, okay, you will be getting 1 lakh rupees, send us 100 rupees, give us the OTP, give us this or click this link, and whatever amount you will be having, say your account is having 50,000, that will be made zero. Let us take an incident, an event of lottery fraud. What happens here is Hemant, he purchased certain lottery tickets and he has been doing it since last 2 years, but he haven't won. He is thinking, hope I can win sometime, right? Now, Ravi said, don't waste your money on lottery tickets. Leave this, work hard, find some job, and there's no free lunch. Hemant suddenly receives an email, and the email is stating that you have won this lottery of 25 lakhs. This is a huge amount. He gets excited and he just believes it without even thinking about how it can happen. Why am I getting that much of prize? Because he was actually waiting for this good news. So Hemant follows all the instruction he was given in the email, and he enters all the personal details and transfer a token amount, that is some amount he transferred. Say he transferred 30,000, and this 30,000 he sent to an unknown bank using an unknown link, using a fraud link, using a malicious link, and he is still happy because now he is in a psychological thrill. And then Hemant says, Ravi, my wait is finally over. I won 25 lakhs rupees. Check this email. See here by yourself. This is the patient's worth. Ravi says, oh my God, this is a fake email. This is a fake email. Don't transfer any money. Hemant says, being shocked, oh my God, I already transferred 30,000 rupees. Oh, Ravi says, come on, let's go to the police station. And now Hemant is regretting what he has done. The lust of money, the requirement of money, he hasn't believed, he hasn't think about the logic, never thought rationally that who is going to give 25 lakhs without any reason, right? He's just getting an email and he sent 30,000 to a person or a link he haven't checked on. So what we learned here, do not respond to any message from any unknown source who is asking for your any kind of personal or financial detail, okay? Even if it is from the credit card company or anyone who he has assured you that he is there. No, don't do it. Just say no. Do not respond to any email or SMS which is seen suspicious, right? Just delete it or spam it. Do not transfer any money without any reason to anyone whom you don't know or to untrusted, unknown people, unknown link, unknown account, right? Remember, if you haven't participated in a lottery, how can you win it? Sometimes you don't participate, still you get money, or you are said that you have got this much of money. Please remember, all the correct the domain names or the email ID, they will come from a reputed websites, government portals, gov.in, nic.in, like this. Please add spam filter. Enable it in your email account, because there are certain email which can come to you, but those who have already been fooled, they will say it as a spam, and email services will put all these email into spam. It will never be shown on your primary email service, right? Let us see one more very common kind of fraud, credit or debit card fraud. Now what attacker do, because they will scare you, they are playing with your emotions. They'll just say, your credit card or debit card has been blocked, do something. And I am here to help you. I will unblock it. Now the victim becomes worried and starts panicking. And this is where you are the most vulnerable one. The attacker attacks just here. And now he will ask for your personal information and he will say, I will unblock the card. I will reactivate the card. And this information will be misused to steal your money, to harm you in any way. This is credit or debit card fraud. Let us see an incident, an event, how this can be done or how this is done. You need to be very careful about this. So one fine day, Manisha gets a call, and the person is saying, I am calling from your bank. Your debit card has been blocked due to certain suspicious activity. Now, I will need some information because to verify you, and I will reactivate this card. Please provide your debit card number and also the PIN, because I'm here to help you. I'm calling from the bank. And then you just have to verify me that you are the person whom I'm talking to. Manisha thinks over it. Okay, if my card is blocked, if somebody is calling me and helping me, let me think over it. Manisha says, but she has suspicion. She says, how do I believe that my card is really blocked? Now the caller plays another game. He says, are you Manisha living in Sunflower Society in Delhi? Having a saving account in this bank? Manisha is now satisfied. Yes, you gave me exact information. Your information is correct. The caller says, I just need to verify you. Please give your debit card number and PIN. And Manisha, because now she's in emotions, she just provides everything the caller wants. And Manisha says, you're there to help me. Thank you so much. Please reactivate my debit card. And Manisha is satisfied that okay, my problem is solved. Within 3 hours, she gets her SMS that 10,000 has been debited from your account on an online transaction. And now she realizes the call she got was a fake call, and the attacker, the scammer, has stolen money, her hard-earned money, just because she was not careful. She was not, because the situation, the psychology was at that time, she couldn't think of any other thing. She just thought, let us first unblock it. Now she went to the police station. The police person said, you are the victim of wishing crime. Now police does the investigation and finally the culprit is captured. But still, Manisha is regretting that all my information, without even thinking with logic or rationally or with presence of mind, I never thought that this can be a hoax, this can be a scammer, he can be an attacker, because she was a learned woman. What we learned here is, do not get petrified, do not get panicked, do not get worried. Even if you get a call right from your bank, they are saying it blocked, you say, don't worry, I'll come to the bank and I'll get it done. Don't worry. Bank will never call, bank will never ask for your personal information. They will never ask for your PIN. They will never ask for your password, card number, CVV number, one-time password or OTP. Right? Even if he or she claims to be a bank employee, don't worry. Say, okay, I'll take care of that thing. I'll go to the bank. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about that. So if you see any unauthorized transaction, just report it to the police. We have numbers. We have people whose job is to do this, to help you. Let us see one more important kind of fraud, which is job-related fraud. See, everyone in the developing country, they want job. Everyone is in need of job. So that is how the attacker, they fool people, especially those people who are themselves worried, and they will be happy when they get an offer of a job. And they'll say, you have an attractive salary. Now they'll tell you everything. It will seem all good. Right? You will not be suspicious at all. You will follow all the instruction, and finally you will lose the money, and you will be sometime physically be hurt. Even you may be killed. Those who want money, they don't see about you. So let us see an incident, a job-related fraud. So Vikrant, he's a bachelor. He is living alone. He receives an email, and the email is stating that you have been shortlisted for a job in a very big firm, advertising firm, with a very huge salary, high salary. Now he gets very excited. Now the psychology changes. And when he reads the mail, he gets very excited. He don't think that whether this email or this job can be a hoax, can be a scammer. He applies the job, and whatever procedure he is being told, he does it. He enters the personal information, especially the address. So please remember address, because this is going to come. And now the email is saying you have to go to this particular city, come here and stay in this hotel. The hotel name is also there. And you will have a 2 days of interview process. He becomes very easy and happy. Oh, he reaches the desired venue. He sees another candidate also, and the candidate offer him some drink. Once he drinks, he feels dizzy, and now he fell asleep, or maybe he may be drugged, and he might be sleeping for 2-3 days, right? This actually is happening. Once he wakes up, he finds all his belongings, whatever he has got, money and whatever he has in his body, everything has been taken off, robbed. When he goes back, because he has entered all the personal information, he has said, I am bachelor, there is no one in, I am living alone. Now he is robbed. His house is robbed. So he reaches police station, report the crime, and the inspector informs that you have been tricked using a phishing email. So Vikrant, without even caring for the email from where it has come, he has shared everything which is possible to get hold of him. The attacker can easily rob these kind of people. Beware, please. Even if there is some mail, see it on the internet, Google it, verify it. So what we learn from this story? First, always search and apply for job from authentic job portals, from good newspapers, not from anywhere else. Check. Whenever some company is asking or sending you email, check the validity. Check that it is not fake. gov.in, nic.in, these are the government websites. There are different various big firms which have their websites. You will easily see that there will be some spelling marks, spelling mistake, grammatical and punctuation, pronunciation, all these problems you will see. If you see here, because those people who scam you might be intelligent, might be, but they are not as equipped as you. They will make mistake. You might be knowing about Jamtara, right? So those people might not be as learned as you, but they are good scammer than anyone. So they scam people. So any government official or government website will not have any these errors. So anyone says they are recruiters, please check or even if it is possible to verify physically, that you can do, but don't send any money. Even if you are losing the job, don't send any money until you are satisfied. So we'll talk about social media frauds, and this we are going to take in the next discussion. Till then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.